So today I'm going to teach you about variations, specifically joint variation where two or more variables are actually connected. So it says if A varies directly as B and as the square of C. A is equal to 30 and B is equal to 2.5 and C is equal to 2. Then it says find A, the value of K, the constant of variation. So now for us to find the constant of variation there, we need first of all to write this expression for the joint variation. So they are telling us that A varies directly as B and as the square of C. So you write it as the square of C. Alright, so now remember when you introduce the equal sign from the variations symbol that we have, you introduce a constant of variation, so it will be K multiplied by BC squared. That is what we mean. So now what we are going to do in order to find the constant of variation there, you need to utilize what you have been given. They told us that A is equal to 30 when B is equal to 2.5 and C is equal to 2. So those are expressions that we are going to use. So now how do we go about that? So we just need to substitute in that expression that we are having there. That's all. So what is our A? It is equal to 30. We don't know what our K is. Our B is a 2.5 and our C is simply 2, but that is raised to the power 2. Okay. So now we can work out some mathematical gymnastic. Now remember in this case that you don't need to have a calculator. This is paper 1 work, so no calculator. So 30 is equal to K. If you notice, this is going to give us 4 times 2.5. So you can ignore the point there, but this is 2 raised to the power 2 is a 4. So 4 multiplied by 2.5. So remember, 4 times 5 will give you 20. So you write a 0, carry a 2. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2. That will give you a 10. Remember that number on top at 1 to 1 decimal place. So you move to your right, meaning that the value there is just going to be a 10 there. So to find K, I'll divide 10. What I do this side, I will do it the other side. So this and that will cancel. K is equal to 10 into 30 goes there 3 times. Therefore, you can start by writing K is equal to 3. So that is the constant of variation that you have been given. Now I want to mention something. The moment you find the constant variation in some questions, they'll be asking you to find an equation. They'll tell you to say find an equation find an equation that is connecting the given variables. So how do you find an equation connecting variables? Well, it's not difficult. What you do, you get this expression and you replace back the constant of variation. That gives you the equation connecting your variables that you have. So in my case, it is going to be A is equal to my K3 BC squared. So this is the equation connecting A, B, and C. And it is now this equation now that you're going to use in order to solve B and C. So let's try to see, how we can actually go about that. Right? So allow me to just erase that. So according to the B part, it says the value of A. So they want us to find the value of A, which we don't know, when B is equal to 2 and our C is equal to 3. So we'll take the equation connecting A, B, and C, which is A is equal to 3BC squared. Then we are just going to substitute so that we can find for the value of A. So remember, A is equal to 3. What is my B there? It is a 2. And what is my C? It is 3, but raised to the power 2. Therefore, A will be equal to 3 multiplied by 2. What is 3 raised to the power 2? That is a 9. Remember, it seems 3 raised to the power 2 means this number, the base array, multiplied 2 times. So 3 times 3, and that will give you a 9. So A is equal to, if you multiply, 3 multiplied by 2, that is actually a 6. So 6 multiplied by 9, that is going to give us a 54. So our A therefore is equal to 54. Please, this times that is simply a 6 multiplied by that, or if you want you can say 2 times 9, which is 18. 18 times 3, 3 times 8, that is 24. So we write 4 carry 2. 3 times 1, that's 3 plus 2, that will give you a 5, and this is the value that we are getting. Well, let's look at the last one there. The last one there says we find the value of C when A is 300 and B is equal to 4. So now again, you simply have to put up that equation connecting the variables A, B, and C. So which is A is equal to 3BC squared. Now we are interested in finding, we don't know what C is, but they have told us when A is 300 and our B is equal to 4. So you just need to substitute there. What is my A? It is 300, which is equal to 3 multiplied by B, which is 4, and C squared. So it will be 300 is equal to, if you notice, 3 times 4, that is 12 multiplied by C squared. You can right away try to divide 12. What you do this side, do it the other side. This and that will cancel, remain with C squared is equal to. Now remember, you can actually simplify that because 12, 3 can go there, 3 there is 4, 3 into 300, that will give you 100. And when 100, if you divide 100 divided by 4, 4 into 10 is 2, remainder 2. So it is going to be now 20. So 4 into 20 is what? 25. So that is going to give you 25. Now let me just change. It is always good, the variable you're finding should always be to your left. It makes your problem. So you can just flip the equation. So it will be C squared is equal to 25. So now what next do I need to do? So in this case, we need to find just the value of C. So how do I get the value of C? You need to introduce the square root. But remember, when you introduce the square root this side, it will either be positive or negative. So this and that will cancel. So your C will be plus or minus. The square root of 25 is 5. So this means that C can either be 5 or C can be negative, or can actually be negative 5. So these are your solutions that they wanted you to pick up. Hopefully you got something there. Watch out for the next video as I show you another problem.